All right, sorry about that. Just had to check a couple of my settings there. All right, so I got my screen up, got my comments ready to go. We'll see as people pop in here what's all going on. So AMC rocking it, currently up 15% from its close yesterday. Getting some rather strong movement coming into to market open. We'll see what happens if we get that drop. We're actually getting a fair amount of buy side pressure coming on. So as we look at this, let me see. We're getting support somewhere around 52.30ish, and then we have a price wall over here occurring at about 53. Man, that's going to be exciting watching this take off. So making up above 50, excellent thing. Staying above 50, absolutely wonderful. Look at the way the volume tapered off back here on, I guess that was Wednesday of last trading week. And then Thursday, you can kind of see the tapering. But then Friday started to get a little bit more exciting, especially in like the middle of the day with the different price action that we saw in there. And like I said, this is the 30-minute chart here. Let's go down to the 5-minute. There we are. So in the 5-minute, I mean, you can really see the volume difference that has been made as we get into closing in on the last hour and a half here, starting from 8 a.m. into getting close to that 9:30 hour. So here we have a volume spike of almost 700,000, and then we have these two volumes combined making up over 900,000. So almost a million, so almost 2 million shares traded just between 3 different 5-minute intervals. So we've got a lot of excitement coming into AMC. We'll see what takes place here. This could be a big day for us as we move forward. All right. I see we got a couple people viewing, and feel free to hit me up in the comments if there's anything that you want to talk about or see. I'm going to take a look at Novon. So this one's been making some decent news for us recently. Let's go out to the daily chart to see the price action. I mean, look at that volume spike that we had, 126 million, with just a huge gap up there. So let's get that off the screen so you can see some of the other volumes. So here, this was a previous high volume for them of 15 million. And then we had Friday's price action taking us up 126 million. So let's look at the pre-market hours. We'll go to the 1 hour just to kind of consolidate some of the volume that we see going into the pre-market. So 33,000, 71,000. Compared to the initial volume that we saw of like 80 million, I mean, that's not a whole lot. But if we look at some of the other previous volumes, there we go, 685, 1,503, 100, compared to the volumes that we see now. These volumes are significantly higher than what they were during other pre-market sessions, or I should say just off-market hours. So we did have a double top resist at around, let me see, looks like around 1766 up to around 1787. And right now we're trading at about that $15 mark. And you can see the price is more than double what it had been during this consolidated period that we have here. Let's get those volumes off of there. So you can see the rising volume that we have, and then just gets dwarfed when Friday came around at the opening bell. So we take a look, they had a price target go from $20 per share up to $28 per share. So according to H.C. Wainwright, the 12-month price target, actually, I'm sorry, that's this one, H.C. Wainwright. This is DJ Novin. Okay, yeah, all right, sorry, I misread that for a second. So yeah, a 40% increase in their price target over the next 12 months that's rather significant, and that's still considerable over the amount of upside that we've seen already on Friday. We'll see if it holds today, or if as the market opens the next 5 minutes, if that's going to drop off on us. All right, so the volume not looking so bad. It looks like here during this last 5 minutes, about 20,000 shares traded, and we're currently forming up this most recent candle here. This will take us into the market open, the very next one, and so we'll see if that should happen to drop off. EVFM is one that's also been making a lot of waves recently. So they have a significant amount of upside according to the new 12-month price targets that are facing them. And during the last trading day, we hit the top side of that Bollinger Band that we have right there, just at 2 standard deviations outside the mean. You can see it settled right at it, and it puts us in line with what we see here during this little bit of sideways movement that we had right around that $1.25. And we're currently trading, let's go back into the intraday. on the 5-minute chart, right around $1.32. So we're up about 7 cents above that line. So where does that put us here? Still puts us in a somewhat normal range. So that could pull back and still act as resistance for us as we continue with this. Senseonics, another one that's seen a lot of upside. So it closed at 420 on the daily chart. I'm sorry, I had a high of 420, didn't close there. And right now we're currently sitting at 440 during the pre-market. So at 805, a significant volume spike relative to the rest at 1.2 million shares. And it looks like we have, at least during these after hours and pre-market hours, somewhere around 432 is where we're finding a little bit of support. So if we zoom out to see more of what's going on, or let's just go to a higher time frame, let's go up to 30-minute. There we go. You can see the run that it's had over the past several days. Let me take the Bollinger Bands off of that to reduce some of the noise that we see in a chart. So huge, looks like an after-hour spike that we have here, sideways movement. Again, tapered off a little bit and then making its next run. This is another one of those high short interest plays. Still sitting in bullish territory, although we're getting lower highs here, so some of the momentum could be coming out of it. And we're getting close to that market open. We have, according to the time that I see here, less than 2 minutes until that takes place. So if we look at the level 2 that we have, let me see, around $4.20 to support. And it looks like 464 is where we're finding a bit of a price wall here with a lot of sell side pressure. So that would be about 5% up from where it's currently trading at now. All right, what else we got going on here? Check out some of these other. Vaxxer has also been making a lot of news recently. There we go. You can see the run that it's had from bottoming out at $6.01, and now it's up to $9.20. So a little over 50% upside. We can actually see, given this formation that we have, kind of a pennant formation, we could see more upside going into today. I would watch for that pullback at the open, because that could most definitely happen. There we go. Let's see some of the volume here. Let's go down to a 5-minute so we can see more volume that's taking place. There we go. So looks like things are getting pretty exciting for Vaxxer as well during the pre-market hours, and this is relative to just the pre-market and the after hours. If we bring in volumes that we saw during the regular trading day, they get dwarfed. There you go. 160,000, 186,000. So not so bad. Let me see, 928. We're coming in on the opening bell. Let's go back to AMC for the open. All right, it looks like we're actually getting a fair amount of buy side here. We'll watch and see what the sell side does. There you go. Market's open, and you can just you can see, wow, look at the prices take off. Excellent. All right, I'm going to go down to the 1-minute. All right, zoom in a little bit. So 1-minute chart for AMC, currently selling off a little bit for us, and we just have this tug of war going. There's a lot of sell side, buy side pressure taking place, and we'll see how that keeps on shaping up for us. So 51, 59, and currently we see a lot of upward pressure. So we could see support hold for AMC maybe around the bottom of this candle or so, maybe around that $52 mark. Maybe we'll find some support that's in there. And as we get near resistance, look at that sell side pressure building up on us. All right, we've broken up over 53. I'm going to go up to a higher time frame so we can see a little bit more of what our next resistance is. Might have to go up to the hourly to see that. All right, so we have a fair way to go before making it all the way back up, if we do see it back up to $77 per share. There we go. Looks like we have room up to maybe about here, so about like $57 per share before we really hit any sort of hard resistance. Let's put the Bollinger Bands on it. This is going to go crazy. Not too bad. We're getting close to that 2 standard deviations above the mean. There's 53.50 and still going. There we are. Let's zoom back in. Whoa, that was really far, really fast. I apologize. All right, so I haven't quite hit that yet. 54.50 would be the end of the usual prices that we would see on this 1 hour time frame. So if we go break up above that, we could see it taper off a little bit. We got a decent amount of volume so far, almost 15 million coming out of the gates. And let's compare that with Friday's volume, about 42 million. And this is an hourly chart, so this is a 1 hour span. So the biggest pop that we're going to see should be at the open if history holds true. And as it goes for most stocks, we're already across the 15 million mark. All right, look at that. So now we're looking at the 5-minute chart here, and it looks like we're still going strong. Well, there we peaked up above the 2 standard deviations above the mean high so far, 53.74, and there we just broke it. Moving on to 54. This could be a very good day for us for AMC, and perhaps we'll even see some of those volumes that would be indicative and some of the prices that go along with it for the short squeeze for AMC. Let's check out LKCO, Luo Technologies. We will come back to AMC as that unfolds. So LKCO, I believe that they were facing delisting, and I believe that now they some of those tensions about delisting have eased, and so we're seeing a big spike in the price. Let's go to the daily chart. All right, check out that gap up that we have. So currently sitting at 228, and let me see. I think we can see the high price here. $3.86 would be the high that they had. So a decent gap up that we have. We'll wait and see how this this volume fills in for us. If we see that volume build, we could see that we're in excellent momentum territory for LKCO, Luo Technology Core. AMC is still rocking at about 9%. Riot Blockchain. Looks like we have a little bit of news coming out for them. I wonder if it's about Bitcoin going back up to resistance right around 39,000. We're really looking for Bitcoin to break 40,000, which could really help out Riot Blockchain. All right, let's take off the Bollinger Bands and let's put up the moving averages. There we go. So we're above the 200-day moving exponential moving average, and check it out. It's right now. It's coming up on the 50-day simple moving average that we have. That could act as resistance for us. We'll see if we stick between them. If we break outside of it, really, I think that Bitcoin's price is going to be a huge determinant in whether or not we break resistance on Riot Blockchain. I'm trying to see the news. We'll see if we can get it to load here. All right, pre-market leaders, Bitcoin-related stocks, long-term growth remains intact. Always good to see it there. See if we got any analyst estimates out for us. Yeah, so we're still trading under the analyst estimates. We can easily go up like 15% before we get to the low 12-month price target that we have, and that's from 3 analysts rating it as a buy. Let's go intraday, see what's going on. All right, so intraday, got a decent amount of volume to start off, 2 green candles to start off. So for this one, breaking up above that high, always a good thing. Really what we're watching out for in the smaller time frames is signs of a reversal if this thing's going to turn around on us. And let's see if we have any. There we go. Let's go to the hourly. Looking at the level 2 while we wait that to load, we have a lot of sell side pressure, and then we find support This thing jumps around very fast, so it's hard to find. Somewhere around $35 is about where our support comes in, and then we start to hit resistance around 35, 31. So as we watch that price action play out, that could be very telling for us on how this is going to go. So right now we have about a 30-cent range, 35-cent range from where we find support, where we find resistance. Look at that sell sign pressure coming in. Relative to what we have for buy side, then we could see this being pushed down, especially as we get close to that $35.35 mark. Looking at some of the other movers, ORPH, that's an interesting one if you haven't tracked it at all. One moment here, I'm trying to check out the chat. Right now, I'm not seeing anything in the comments for this one. All right, well, we'll get back to that. There we are. All right, so looking at what we have for Orphazyme, this is one that I was reporting in one of my earlier videos about being a Danish meme stock, and you can see it peaked at $77.77. It almost seems purposeful for somebody to put that in. And then it closed, and this is back on Thursday. It closed at $56.70, and now we're back down to $11.47. So that is just a very high, almost unexplained short squeeze, and it was called a Danish meme stock by the media. So when we look at the price action today, even though it opened up at right now 21% higher than what it closed at the day before, we're not going to see a lot. Let me go down to a smaller time frame so we can see a little more for this. There we go. All right, we got double top resist right around $12.05. We are coming into a lot of buy side support, so we could see this thing come down and touch this 50 period simple moving average that we have before turning around again. Where is that price? 11.25, and I can't currently see where the blue is. 11.33, so that's a little bit above where that support's coming in over here. We got a lot of buy side pressure coming in at these prices, so we could watch this hold on to that bottom that it currently has. Taking a look at some crypto. Let me go to the daily chart for this. This is Polygon. Its token is MATIC, M-A-T-I-C. And you're not going to see a whole lot right here on the daily chart because WEBULL just started tracking them not too long ago. So we'll go down to the 30-minute time frame so we can see a little bit more of what's going on. There we go. Find a lot of strength coming into this. You can see the last time that it went into overbought territory, and then it traded sideways for a while, and then now we're starting to pick up that that momentum again, and we'll see where we find those peaks. This thing went up to I think somewhere like 220 or 230 a share after Mark Cuban put a plug in for it. And what it is, it's a layer 2 solution on the Ethereum blockchain, and what they do is they have a bridge from Ethereum over to Polygon where you can do your transactions within Polygon, and you're starting to get a lot of dApps that are starting to move over and migrate into Polygon as well, because they can get away with cheaper transactions. And Polygon is, I think it was three Indian developers, I believe, who put this together for us. And it does perform beautifully. It's a scalability solution. So when we look at Polygon here, it is going to be faster than what you'll get on Ethereum. It does compromise in a little bit in security, but so far there haven't been any major security issues reported. And you can see we have support coming in here right around the $1.43, and all of these are in half-hour increments as we take a look at this. So let me hit my auto scale here. There we are. So you can see recently we bottomed out here at about $1.16 against the United States dollar, of course, and now we're back up to that $1.50 mark. And if we look at the brief history that we have for Polygon on here, since WEBULL started tracking anyway, it looks like $1.82. I'm sorry, $1.88 was that peak that we had. So we have a fair amount of room to run before this would come back to its strength. Even though I don't think that Ethereum always tracks what Bitcoin does, and stocks related to Ethereum, I don't think they always do. I think that they're still heavily influenced by Bitcoin. So here's Ethereum, and this one has been tracked a lot longer by WEBULL. So you'll see a lot more going on there. And based on what we see here with this flag formation that we have, let me get out my drawing tools. There we go. So we have this flagpole right here. And then what we can expect to find from that is something that would be equally as high going from here up this way would be the indicator. So according to this, let me see where our bottom is here, about 23 up to about 25. So another $200 run or so from about where it's at. So maybe even a little bit higher than what I have shown right here right now. There we go. But this could go on another run for us. Really, like I said, Bitcoin, if Bitcoin breaks 40,000, we're going to see a lot of strength come out. Maybe we'll return back to like that 27 or 2800 level for Ethereum. If Bitcoin breaks 42,000, I think that we'll see Ethereum push closer onto that $3,000 mark. All right, let's check out some of our other action that we have going on. AMC looks like it's settling down a little bit. Coinbase is one of my favorites. This one is still tied to what the crypto market does. Again, largely, oh man, there we go. There we go. Largely with coin, it'll do a lot with what Bitcoin does, and this price spike that we see today isn't surprising given the recent strength that we saw with Bitcoin. We'll go back to Bitcoin in just a moment. So the price targets on coin, we're actually not too far away from that low analyst estimate of 225, all the way up to 650. We got 16 analysts covering this, and out of those, it looks like 4 of them believe that you should just hold on to this one, and that we have close to half saying buy, and then we have another quarter of them calling it a strong buy. I think at these prices, even if we return to just $300 per share, that's still at least a little low. I mean, it's over a 20% upside from what we see right now over the next 12 months for this stock. But again, it's very much tied to what we see happening with Bitcoin. So let's actually go to Bitcoin and see where we're sitting at there. There we are. All right, Bitcoin did break 40,000. Check that out. So that would explain why we see a lot of that action that we do. As I actually had an alert set for when Bitcoin would break 40,000. Let's see if it actually went off. Oh, it did. 32 minutes ago, it broke 40,000. I didn't even notice the notification go through. Awesome. All right, so we're seeing a big run up right now, and take a look at what happened the last time we had that run up, and this is the 30-minute chart that we're looking at. So if I look right here, this looks like it's about the 11:05 hour, somewhere after that. So this would be as of yesterday, and then into the day would be right here, would be where the 14th is. We had a little bit of settling and sideways trading for a while. Now we broke over that. We want to push on to break up over that 42,000 level. There we go. All right. I'm trying something out here. I'm going to refresh my my web browser to see if I can get some of the comments going for the live stream, because as of right now, they're not showing up for me. If this doesn't work, what I'll do is I'll put YouTube open on my phone, and I'll actually see if the comments are showing up there. All right, so let me go to the daily chart for Bitcoin. There we are. So we can finally see some of the action come back. Look at that rising momentum that we have. We finally broke over 50 yesterday for Bitcoin, which puts us in a bullish territory according to the RSI. So that's an excellent thing for us. We really need to break up over this 200-day EMA that we're looking at right here. Breaking that would be very important to us as a line of resistance. There we are. I'm going to try and separate this so I can see what value we're coming in at. And if this doesn't work, and then I'll, there we go. Almost got it. There we are. All right, so 40,955, and look, we're almost there. We're so close to touching that resistance, and like I said, it's a matter of breaking through that resistance. And I think that over time that we will. I don't know if you guys have looked at the stock to flow model, but according to the stock to flow model, we could double from this before we return to where the stock to flow model says that we should be, and that's something that Bitcoin historically has tracked very well. And there's a lot of analysts that believe that we're going to make it back to like that 85,000 mark over the next couple months. And some people even saying up over the, oh, hey, there we go. Corsair Gaming. Yeah, the Wall Street Bully, I thank you for your comment. My comments weren't loading before, so I refreshed my web browser so I could see those comments. So Orlando, good morning to you. And yeah, AMC has been on a significant surge lately. So now that I can see my comments, I can finally talk to you guys. Corsair Gaming. Let me see if it shows up over here. I don't see it right now. I believe it's CRSR. There we go. I was checking this one out in the pre-market. Look at that significant gap up that it has. And we're looking at the daily chart. So a huge even volume spike that we see coming in for Corsair. And let me see. I'm going to have to go intraday. All right, so we peaked almost at $43 per share. We have a lot of support from its current price right now at $38.63 and very close to what we see. And then we don't actually, with the sell side support, looks like it's coming in as just melting those orders away as we move along. So up to like $39. So we're still in a fairly narrow range from where it's at right now. So like a 1% back and forth, if you will. It looks like it quickly went to that overbought territory, and with a price spike up like that, that's just not surprising at all. I want to take a look at the daily chart and see where else we are going to resist on this thing. All right, so we're actually pretty even with these tops that we have just below $44. So that 43, not all that surprising. We are kind of getting locked in between the bottom of this candle and the top of that one. So like around $37 or so. I think I'm gonna have to restart WEBULL as my crosshairs have disappeared. I want those to come back up because it's easier to talk about in that way. So let me actually stop my screen share, and then once I have WEBULL open, I'll bring it back up again. There we go. Now you guys can all see my smiling face. All right, so let me give that a quick restart. All right, so while I'm waiting for that to restart, we have the FOMC meeting today and tomorrow, then Jerome Powell coming out on Wednesday at 2 p.m. To talk to us about how the Federal Reserve sees the future of the near-term future of the economy. So come out and talk about whether or not they can continue with financial easing, if they're going to raise rates on us, if they still believe that inflation is transitory. Really, I'm excited to hear about them talk about inflation, and we want strong confirmation from them that they believe that this is going to pass. And being that the market shrugged off the 5% as was expected, because it was compared year over year to 2020, which was such a strange year for us, that should have been a big number. However, it has turned from the peak that we saw on back in May when that last report came out for us. My apologies. I just realized that that WEBULL didn't turn back around for us. We have retail sales, that report coming out, and when retail sales comes out, we want to see, if we see really, really strong numbers coming out of retail, that can really depress growth, and because what that can do is be, again, too rapid of a recovery. We don't want them to be down a lot because, again, that's going to be bad signs for us. supply numbers when we get the producer price index coming out. We want to see that we're not experiencing too much inflation there either. So it's a really fine line between should we panic one way or the other, that in prices are being too sluggish or that there's just way too much inflation too fast. These are all things that we want to find out. All right. So I got WEBULL back up. Let me put my screen share back out there for you guys. All right. So there you go. I'm going to bring Corsair Gaming back up for you. Analyst estimates on this one, 46.67 to the average analyst estimate. So another like $8 up from where we're at now. So a 20% upside over the next 12 months. So we could see some strength coming in that moving forward from here. So 9infotech. Let me see. I'm just checking up on the news. Again, they're calling it a meme stock. So they're saying it's going to move with the other momentum that we see. Dips broader than the market. I'm just reading back through some of these other plays that they have. Yeah, this would be interesting if Corsair Gaming. I don't know if they're associated with Corsair that makes the RAM chips. They're actually one of the RAM chips that I swore by for a lot of the computers that I built throughout my teenage years and throughout my 20s, and most recently when I helped my my nephew put his system together. I believe that we also went with Corsair as well. So I don't know if this is associated with them or not. This isn't a stock that I follow, but I can still look at it for day to day from a technical perspective and see what's going on for it. All right, let's take a look at some of the losers. There you go. Oh, Lordstown Motors, man, they're being drugged through the mud. So they were they were asked to include in the reports about the going concern. And the big concern that we have, actually, if you look at what's happening right now, that we're so significantly in this oversold territory. Let's go out to the daily chart for this one. So the going concern for Lordstown is that their cash burn compared to the cash that they have, it's just too fast, and they could possibly go out of money or go bankrupt. And that's not a good thing for the car company. So this would be them not being able to function because they can't get their business up off the ground. And so with that going on, we see this huge drop in their price today. I don't know, given that news and given where it sits currently, it seems like other people also don't know how much that's going to impact their business going forward. It hasn't been enough to drop us down to this level where it went down below $6.70. But we certainly have that potential. I would call this one right here sort of weak support that we have right around 777. Maybe lucky, maybe unlucky. Our RSI has dropped into bearish territory. The 50-period daily, 50-day simple moving average, what did start to turn around, and then recently, especially the going concern, we started to trail off back down to a negative slope. 200-day exponential moving average also negatively sloped. We could see bearish activity for this until news from Lordstown, some sort of positive catalyst would bring it back around again. And you can see the battle that's taking place when you look at the order book in the level 2, that there's just such steep walls right here between support and between resistance. We could be locked in here. It might be just a narrow range for it. There you go. So it looks like a lot of the selling off has happened, and we're getting this sort of floor down here around 928, although we recently hit a new low of 918. That's actually looking like it could sell again on us. So I don't know if you're in Lordstown or not. This is one that I took as a swing position a while back. I don't know that I would take the swing position on this one yet. If I saw it go down to that same low or even a new all-time low, that might be something where I might try to catch some sort of bounce on it. Long-term outlook, I just don't know enough about Lordstown. I know that they need to get their production up and going, that they need to have sales actually going. And the sooner that they can get to that, the better. And hopefully that going concern of them running out of money doesn't happen first. What else we got? We got skills selling off. We got clothes selling off. Microvision. Take a look at Microvision quick. There we go. So back around that $20 market, you might actually find some significant support right around $20. This is one that has recently traded maybe down as low as 14. Let's take a look. There we go. Oh man, it made it back down to $12 per share. I actually picked this one up a while ago. Let me go back a little bit. I think I actually bought in sometime around this bottom, around 10.08 or so, and then it made it up to about $14 per share. And I think it was actually on this day, I mean, yeah, high of 14.93. I think I sold there. And then this happened where we went up to a high of 27.80. And then this happened where we went up to $28. And then we had a sell-off. And you can see volume-wise that it cooled down over time. And now the feelings are very mixed on Microvision. If the semiconductor shortage is really sort of taking its toll, they also need somebody to build their product. I believe that they have designed it, and they are really working on some pretty awesome solutions. But I think that they're still without a big contract for actually producing and selling their product. Let's take a look at skills. Skills peaked recently at almost $25 per share, and now we're back down under 20, staying above the 200 EMA, and that can be really good news for us. Let's see if any negative news came out, or if it's just selling off just to kind of settle down from where it was. Skills versus Nintendo. Which video game stock is a better buy? Well, Nintendo has been around forever, so if we're playing skills versus Nintendo, even without reading into this one, Nintendo just continues to surprise people again and again. It was the first, it was the second video game console that I ever had. I actually had the Atari. I played Space Invaders and everything on it. Skills, I don't know that it's directly comparable to Nintendo, even business model-wise. I think that they're just different. So as far as which one's a better buy, if you buy skills, you're buying a lot of risk. So there's a high upside potential for skills. Nintendo, I think, I don't know what its current price action is right now, but much less likely to go to zero versus skills, which has to, yet to continue to prove themselves that they can return or that they can turn to profitability within the next few years. I know that our eyes are on the NFL contract to see what plays out there and to see what unfolds as we go forward with that. So currently sitting at about $20 per share, we can drop down, 25% down to low analyst estimate, and then moving upward, we can move up 25% to get to that average. And if we hit that high of 34, that might be a somewhat of an older one prior to all the tech sell-off and high growth sell-off that we had. I am bullish on skills, and it is a long shot though at this point in time. Or I should call it high risk. It's high risk because they have an awesome business model and they have a lot of players. It's a matter of, finding those games that are really just going to take off. And that's something that is such a wild card. There's no total formula yet that's going to determine which game is going to be a blockbuster versus, which game is just going to be a bust overall. So let's zoom out on the daily chart a little bit. All right, so when we peaked there, let's see, 23 up to about 25. And like I said, staying up above that 200 EMA, it just started sloping upward. So staying above it, it might hold as a line of support for us. We're up above the 50-day. Also a good thing, positively sloped. Really watching those two cross each other, watching that 50-day simple moving average cross over the 200 EMA could be a bullish sign for us as we continue forward with skills. We need more PR coming out of them to tell us more about what's going on with their company. Just reading down through a few of the other ones. Roblox is finally settling. I think Roblox compared to what we have with skills, I think that these two would actually be a little bit more fair of a comparison when you talk about the buys. Roblox already profitable, and it really is, like skills as a platform, Roblox is also a platform, and really it empowers the users and the developers, and they pay out to the developers through their Robux. that they can exchange for USD, and I don't know if it comes out in any other currencies. But this is one that peaked at 103, 104, and has gotten a lot of attention even from the analysts. So we have low of 82 up to a high of 103. So if you see those prices go back up to 103 in the short term, and I'm not a financial advisor, so this is just my opinion as a guy on YouTube. But if you see it go back to 103 in the short term and you have a position, to me, I was thinking about selling it. And well, I'm somebody who is more of a buy and hold kind of player. But what I said in my Patreon in the Discord was that, you know, at this price, I might as well sell it and then buy back in. And if I would have done that with my position, I could have made it back in at this $90 that we have right now. Honestly, I would like to come back in below these prices that we see here. Coming back in below 82, my current position, I'm in the low 60s. So coming back in below 82 would certainly be ideal. I don't want to already be in where the 12-month price target is, you know, within a month or two into those analyst estimates. Check out that price wall that we have at almost $91 per share. That's a lot of sell side pressure that that can come in on us should we make it up to that point. So you can kind of think of 91 as being about where we're going to find that resist. Let's go back up to, there we go. Check out our gainers that we have. There we are. Novan. I really wish that I knew how to say that one. Up over 35%. Wow, look at that. I absolutely love to see this. And I did report on this a few days ago. So I think when I reported on it before, and I'd have to look at the intraday and stuff, but watching this around that $14 per share and talking about the price action that we could see come from this, saying that it could go up 2x from where we're at 14 up to 28. You know, that would be just incredible. And, you know, I mean, there we're just watching it go to new highs of 2055 is still going. Let's look intraday. I mean, just awesome price action that we have taking place. And then looking at the level 2 that we have, still that battle being fought over buy side and sell side to see where that pressure is taking place. We could see a double top resist come out of this. If we break through that resistance, then we could see a fair amount of more upside from that. And back to the dailies just for historical price action that we see. Yeah, we're sitting right across that from this high that we have over here at about 28.80. I didn't say that right. $20.80. And this high over here is $20.73. So you're right across that top. We break through that 20.80, and then we have room up to that 25.90. And again, just look at the analyst estimates. This 20 right here is now a 28, because I believe that's that HC Wainwright one. So we're going from 28 up to 45, and we're currently sitting, there we go, at about that $20.33 mark. Checking on Bitcoin, see how our price is going. All right, so still sort of obeying that resistance that we see there. Like I said, if we break 42, I think that we're golden for quite a ride up from there. Let me zoom out a little bit more. Yeah, so take a look at this over here, this high that we had. Zoom in a little bit so I can get onto it a little bit better. There we go. The high over here, 41,439. There we go. So we're sitting right at that resistance, and then we have room. After 42, we have room up to like 43, 44, and then really the sky's the limit after that. So we'll see if we get sideways traded. Like I said, we do have that momentum finally coming back for Bitcoin. There we go. Ethereum not really quite returning to that same strength. I think that a lot of the staking and stuff that we have for Ethereum 2.0, I think that there's a lot of waiting going on for Ethereum for those other improvements to come out. And the strength, I'm surprised to see that the strength is below 50, because I really thought that with Bitcoin going back into bullish territory and on the run that it is, that we would see that. maybe it's breaking that resistance. Maybe the correlation is just getting lower between Ethereum and Bitcoin, that we're waiting on more catalysts to take place. All right, just taking a quick look at the news that we have here. There you go. NASDAQ and reviewed bigger. Lots of news coming out there. Ethereum, I'll call it the everything blockchain, just because its general purpose. Really, anything could be attached to it. The scalability is something that we really want to watch for there, and the congestion for the transactions, spiking up the gas fees that we have. Those are limitations that proof of stake should take care of, but there are a lot of level 2 solutions like Polygon, which I'm also bullish on, that could solve some of those issues for scalability, that they already have started doing those. Polygon, if they can really smooth out some of that that transition between Ethereum over to Polygon, then Polygon, its Matic token, back over to Ethereum. As that transition gets smoothed out and as it gets easier to do, I think that we're going to see a lot more strength come to Polygon's stock. Come to its token versus what we see here for Ether, for Ethereum. And like I said, its own scalability is also something that we're watching for, that we want to hear about the different sharding news, which is going to follow the proof of stake that they're working on. So coming back to being just a cleaner coin overall, it's really going to help us. All right, AMC back around that 11% mark. There we go. A gap up over what we had on Friday. So we're up almost $55 per share, and it's nice to see that strength come back. We do want to keep an eye on what we see here on the RSI, from what it has in the daily chart anyway. On the MACD, it looked like we were almost nearing a sell signal. Not talking for the apes, I'm just talking the technicals right now. But it didn't happen, that it turned back away again, and now it's spiking back up. And you can also see the RSI turning back upward, that we could see this go back over into overbought territory. We want to be watching the volumes and the price for signs of whether or not that short squeeze is going to take place. All right, we've moved on beyond that 10 o'clock hour, or about 10:10 right now. I'm going to wrap things up. Thank you guys for stopping by. I really appreciate it. Let me turn off my screen share here. There we are. So I'll be back again tomorrow if you guys want to check out more of the market open. And just to go ahead and name those stocks you want me to check out, I'll go in, look at them, give you my take on them, and we'll see what plays out from there. I hope that you guys have a great day. Happy trading on Monday. And I'll see you on YouTube. Hit me up in the comments. Thank you so much for stopping by. Remember, these videos are for entertainment purposes only. Man, sometimes I lose my train of thought so easily. I apologize. Let's keep the faith. Let's keep on working on our financial education. And, let's go out there and get that money.